There's an elephant in the room that we want to address.
Here we go.
I feel like it
Buckle
is
up, Bob.
time to address the rumors.
Oh boy.
It has to do with my wife and the person I'm sharing a couch with right now.
What the heck?
Can a guy really be just friends with his girl best friend?
There's a lot of people that say no.
For me personally, I try not to be as, like, I will be as dead as a fish.
This particular comment that I'm thinking of was like, they spend time alone together and she's even seen his butt.
Oh, yeah. I was like, we were sitting in the car and I tell Jess, I was like, Jess, I just want to let you know you're not my type.
Oh yeah, no, you've told me that plenty of times.
What? Since they've been in town, all they say is bruh.
Bruh.
And now I go, bruh.
I can't.
In my experience, we always had code names.
What code name would he have?
Mustache.
Mustache boy.
Like Mickey Mouse, probably.
Whoa.
We'll just preface this again by saying this is just our opinion.
My dad used to say, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink.
Let's go. Welcome back to the So Far So Good podcast.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Gabriel, and so far it's going so
So
good
good.
because we are here with
You go first.
Bobby.
And Seb.
Whoa.
our very first guests.
our very first guest, and they're two of our closest friends, so that's fun too.
You know what's crazy? I just realized I called myself Seb, but
That's your name.
my name is Sebastian.
Sebastian Gomez. All right. Do you want to? He's from Chile, by the way.
Okay.
Do you want to give
She's
them?
from
We have a little,
Australia.
Jess wrote a little intro for you guys.
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
nice.
I didn't
She
actually.
I like
did.
this. Let's hear it.
I'm getting gassy already.
Oh my gosh.
Gas-
Just kidding. I'm nervous.
That's how I get. That's how I get.
Just
I love Gassy Seb. There's no better Seb than Gassy Seb.
Yes, sir.
Jess, hit it.
Go.
I really
Tell us
don't.
about ourselves.
I have two lines.
You have
Go.
two lines.
Read the lines. Read the lines.
Okay.
Two.
This is Sebastian Gomez and Bobby Mears. They are both content creators living in LA, and they are both. You can find them both on YouTube.
Let's go.
That's true.
It is true.
She was working on it for about an hour in the corner.
Literally short and concise to the point.
Thanks
Okay.
for having us, guys.
We'll deep dive a little bit more later into our background, our relationships, our relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how we became friends, all that jazz. But we have a segment that we do at the beginning of every podcast called "So Good or No Good."
Oh.
And usually what we do is we take something that's happening in like pop culture and the news, whatever, something that might be so good or might be no good or both.
Okay.
And we just talk about it. We riff about it. But today we thought we'd get a little bit more personal.
Sorry.
Oh, Jess has a clear throat. That's
Side
really
note-
important.
Also, like, side note, I'm like blushing a little bit. I can't really look at you right now.
Why?
I don't know. I'm
You're
just
like too
nervous.
close to him. You're as far away as possible from this guy.
Yeah, like I'm sitting
Should I
on
get
my
nervous?
side of the couch and you're like sitting on the your side of the couch off
Well,
your side of the couch.
I'm enjoying this. Okay, anyways, Jess, go.
Okay, so I did tell you guys earlier
Yeah.
that I will be going for my citizenship
No.
soon.
Okay.
Okay, so with a citizenship test comes like a civics test.
Okay.
And we just thought the So Good or No Good today could be
Since you-
asking you a couple of questions.
Since you guys are seasoned Americans.
I'm not
This is
seasoned.
true.
I went to summer school 3 times for every subject. So,
So you're extra seasoned.
So you have way more study in your back pocket than the rest of us.
Yeah,
You
that's
also went to
pretty good.
school longer than us too. I went to 2 years of college and dropped out. What?
he went to
I
school longer
I
than
have a
all of
bachelor's
us.
degree.
You have a bachelor's
oh my
degree?
gosh,
Yeah.
Bobby.
I forgot. You're
Yeah.
kind of old.
yeah.
Yeah.
And smart.
Yeah, you're
Thank
the
you.
smartest one
And talented.
of all of us.
I mean, it's
All right,
okay,
so
guys.
Bob, I hope you pass this test.
All right, so good.
Okay, so I have a couple questions, and you guys can take in turns, and we'll see who gets the most correct.
Okay. Well,
So-
take turns. So we're not a team.
Wait,
We're not a team.
hold up.
No,
We're
no,
going
no,
against
no.
each other?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? We just fought.
Seb, when you win, if you win, you'll be so happy for years to come.
Nah,
And if you lose, you're never going to hear the end of it from Bobby.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to
Okay,
it.
so who would like to start?
But Bob has lived through more American history than Sebastian has.
And
yeah.
also, but
100%.
I will preface it by saying I didn't. All this college that we're talking about wasn't in history. Hit it.
Question number 1.
So I could only say so good or no good, or I have to say like George
no,
Washington.
no. They do the right answer.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is so. These questions are real, legit questions that Jess might be asked
Okay.
in her
at
test.
my
Yeah.
citizenship.
Okay,
test.
so so good and no good has nothing to do with it.
No.
Okay.
We're just
No,
going to
no, no.
see if you are so good at history or
Oh no,
No,
where do we
no.
stand?
Hey,
so
listener,
good.
this is probably very easy to follow along. All right,
It
let's get
is.
to it.
No, the
Okay.
so good. What I'm saying, the so good is the news that Jess is getting her citizenship
Oh,
soon.
it's so good.
Which is so good.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of that being so good, let's test our friends' knowledge of
Okay.
the United States of
Easy.
America.
Come on.
Question number 1. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
Bill of Rights.
Yes.
What? I wouldn't know.
Let's
You
go.
did. Were you laughing?
That's why I laughed, because I had no idea, bro.
I thought you were like, this is so easy.
I laughed because I had no idea.
It
didn't
started
know
off by the preamble.
Bob was a genius.
Question number 2.
Was that only a Bob question 1st? Okay, now it's only Seb. Gotcha. Okay.
You were laughing at me.
Ready, Seb?
I know, dude.
How many amendments does the Constitution have?
10.
Can I answer for an extra
No,
point?
wait, because he said the 10 amendments.
No,
Wait,
it's
wait,
the
hold
first
up.
10
No, he
amendments
said
of the Bill of Rights.
Oh, Bill of Rights. All right, 20.
Can I guess?
20.
No, I don't want to
Wrong.
guess.
Guess.
I was going to say 27, but I think there's a lot
Correct.
more. Hey, oh, singing day, oh.
Hey, man.
Wait, okay. Pause.
I thought there was new ones, though.
Pause. What is the point system? Does he still get a point
No,
for
that was
doing
just
no,
extra.
no.
That was
Okay.
just extra
1-0.
flags.
So that's just little
That's just
street,
extra.
that's street cred right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a little extra America for the audience.
Okay, Bob.
Yes.
Name one branch or part of the government.
Legislative branch, executive, and judicial. That's all 3.
Holy smokes. Bobby's a real American.
Did you know that? You knew
No.
that. You knew that,
Bro,
bro.
you would've been able to get
social
one.
studies,
Bro.
Social studies was my worst subject, bro.
I'll help you, bro.
Bruh.
Since they've been in town, all they say is bruh.
Bruh.
And now I go, every time Sebastian goes, bruh, I go, bruh.
I can't.
Okay, Seb.
I'll help you, bro.
I know
So
you're gonna
that's
give me.
2 out of
I know
5.
you're gonna
That
pick
is.
an easy one now, so you can get me in the game. But no, give me a hard one.
What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful?
Judicial. I don't know.
Checks and balances,
Checks and
man.
Judicial. That makes sense.
That is a branch of government that he just said the question before.
Well, yeah,
That's how I knew it.
branch.
Jess is crying.
I knew I was gonna
balances,
be.
yeah.
I'm a looking loser idiot on this podcast.
No,
you know
come
when
on.
you see like those like, oh, are Americans really stupid? And then like you watch those TikToks,
Like a
whatever.
Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah,
show.
that's me, bro. That's me.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
So 2 out of 5, 0 out of 5.
Oh, thanks for the reminder.
So I basically win after this one.
You already
I'll
won.
get this wrong. Go.
The House of Representatives has how many voting members?
Ooh.
I initially want to say 255.
To be
But I
be
think
fair,
that's wrong.
as the token smartest person in the room, I didn't even get this
no.
one right.
I'm going to say 255, but
435.
That's
knew there was a
crazy.
5.
Yeah,
a
but it's
lot of
like
people.
it's kind of like a shot in the dark.
That's
to be
a
honest.
that's a toughie.
yeah, it's a deep cut.
No, I mean, that was super easy and I should have known it. Seb, you are smarter than me.
Wait, but if Seb gets the next 3 right, he still has an opportunity to win.
Very
There's
true.
no off,
Very true.
bro. Let's get to it.
I need confidence from you, Sebastian.
confidence.
All right.
All right,
Okay,
let's
ready?
go.
Yes, that's what I like to see.
Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government.
And some belong to the people. I don't know.
Like,
Judicial.
what is one power that would be that belongs to the federal government
I don't know, bro. I literally don't.
What is one thing that the government does that
that they're
they
like
do
in
that?
control of?
What's the thing that we experienced
sounds
during
kinda hard.
COVID? That they like came into LA and they shut down everything. Like the army was
Oh,
there.
like Mark.
Martial law.
Martial law. Is martial law one of them?
No, that's technically right. They're technically not supposed to do that.
I think they're allowed, but it's like under emergency case.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting
that's it.
technical at this point.
Yeah, this is
I think you got
0-3.
what is no
On to the next
but
one.
you're no Seb, you're close. Think of who was there. Who came in?
Military.
Yes. So
So, what does a federal government have power to do?
Execute military orders.
Is it the draft?
no?
do a draft?
They make our armies.
It's
and
create
militaries.
armies,
Yeah.
print money, declare war, and make treaties.
Dang, thank God I was born in this country.
Why? Thank God. Oh, because you
then
failed the test.
I'd fail the test. I
Okay,
would
next
never
one.
pass this
Okay.
test.
I'm
Bob,
not. I didn't. I got the last one wrong.
Okay, so Seb got that one.
I'm lost. We
No.
know we lost.
Well, like, and they do.
No, we
You got it.
We know I lost. So
No.
Let's give it to Bob.
when is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms?
I'm gonna say April 14th.
wow.
15th.
Oh, I always like to go a day early.
That's rough.
Dang.
You're like, I always try and send him in early, so I sent him on the 14th.
Okay.
Because it's too late. Oh.
That's hilarious.
One day off. See, Seb?
See what?
don't
See that I'm losing?
No.
Have I
No,
asked
no,
you
no.
full questions?
Now he lost.
I think so.
He missed 2 questions, which means if you get the next 2,
Go bring them.
you can tie him.
Okay.
For the dub.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
John Hancock.
No.
No, that's his signature, but John
on.
Adams.
No.
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 How many guesses does he get, by the way?
Hold
Three.
up.
Three.
Thomas
This is-
Jefferson.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
John Hancock was the first one that signed it.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Was he?
Yeah,
he
but
was
I
the
didn't get
biggest-
it
He was the
right.
biggest signature.
I didn't
maybe.
get it right.
I only know John Hancock because you go, put down your John Hancock on
Yeah.
that thing.
Because I know John Hancock was like, yeah.
He was like the first or last or the biggest.
Isn't it cool to
Does
see
that-
those
does that
signatures
count?
though?
I'll let that count. Yeah.
No, come
Okay,
on.
so the
No.
next one I get 5 guesses.
He gets he gets 3 guesses. Because I
No,
did
that
3.
was good. You did good.
No.
Bobby,
Okay, here we go for the win.
Pity.
when was the Declaration of Independence adopted?
Oh, like the full. July 4th. Oh, 16. Ooh, that doesn't sound right.
You have 3 guesses. Give your official.
1629.
No.
Nope.
Ooh, I feel like I'm way off. 1829.
Nope. Should we
16,
give a clue?
1614.
I got it. 1776.
Oh!
Whoa, Seb.
Seb coming here with
That's
the
the only one
knowledge.
I knew. That was the only one I knew, bruh. Shut
What did I
up.
one of
say?
these
14 or something?
No.
No. All right.
Okay, so I got 2. Well, I started off really well.
But I still
And
have
I
one
went
more for you.
downhill
Okay, go.
quick. This one's worth 5 points.
There were 13 original states.
Yeah.
Name 3.
Oh, that's your East Coast. He's an East Coaster.
New York, Massachusetts, and I'm like afraid because I don't want to like pick the wrong one.
Bruh.
You're an East Coast, bro.
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Let's go.
Good job.
All right. So I'm not.
So we're
that-
tied.
You guys
he
tied.
won.
No, we're not tied.
You guys tied. I'll take it.
You're 2-2. Because he got the first 2 questions right,
Guys-
and then you got the last 2 right. Granted, one was.
All right, so
we got 3 tries.
We got the
but
stamp of so gooders.
You did.
And he
go.
got 3 tries too.
Technically, you need like a 60% to pass the test.
Okay, give us
so
one-
cumulatively, you guys failed.
Give us one last
Because you need a
question.
6 of 10 rather than a
They
4
don't
of
want this segment to keep going forever.
Yeah, true. All right, we're
Like,
over.
oh no, let's keep going.
10. Yeah, thanks,
Give us
Bob.
20.
Our producer Bob is here, just making sure that the show
Okay.
flows.
Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was good. We both won. We should step away from it.
Yes. Let's
100%.
end on a good note.
Yes.
100%.
Okay, so moving on to an even better note.
Okay.
There's an elephant in the room that we want to address.
All right, here we go.
I feel like it
Buckle
is
up, Bob.
time to address the rumors.
Oh boy.
There have been some rumors spreading on social media that I'm particularly not fond of,
Uh-oh.
Neither am I.
Oh boy.
but it doesn't have to do with me. It has to do with my wife and the person I'm sharing a couch with right now.
What the heck? What are you talking about?
What could it be?
Wait,
I'm
okay,
out.
okay.
I think I have an idea.
No, but let's backtrack a little bit.
We should ask what his idea
Okay,
is.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's establish our no. Let's do that after though. Let's establish like our relationship so people understand the dynamic of our friendship, and then we can
Okay.
segue into like how these rumors came about.
So I
Okay.
guess let's do a quick, like 5-minute or less story about how we all met.
Yeah, let's talk about
Okay,
these
so
rumors.
it actually started. The people who know each other the longest in this room is me and Sebastian.
Us too.
This couch, this freaking
We're
couch
about
right here,
we're about to
baby.
hit 10
Go.
years.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, 2015. So we met at a social media convention.
Yeah.
In New York?
Yeah.
Short and sweet. I was sneaking into conventions, and I met him at a party. I was in line to a party. I didn't even know who he was, and we just started talking.
You didn't
but
know
there
who he was when
there
you
was
met.
there was like a group of random influencers together that were kind of just like all hanging out, and then we all like went and got McDonald's afterwards or something. We
So
were,
what
like,
made you
walking
go
around
up to
the
him if you didn't know him?
I didn't go
Or
up
how'd
to
you
him.
guys-
We were waiting to get into a party, and I had a cup, and I had an iPhone, and they weren't letting us in. So then I put my iPhone in the cup, and I said, "We'll throw our own party," and then we were just
Yeah.
dancing in line. And that was pretty
Yeah,
much
he
it.
used the cup as like a speaker and put the phone in it. And it was like, like
Yeah.
playing. So,
Wow. So you guys just randomly were right behind each other.
Literally, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was behind him and I just was like, straddling him. I
And
was
but
like,
now look at you guys.
Yeah.
on
I
the
know.
same
It was a
couch.
God thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't meant I was meant to meet him, but I didn't mean to meet him.
Yeah. It was just
Interesting.
like circumstance.
Yeah.
Now look at us.
Gabe and I
Okay.
hadn't even met at that point.
We didn't. We met at the end of that year online, beginning of the following year
Wow.
in person. But fast forward, we stay friends. Me and Seb, Jess and I meet. We all become friends.
Yep.
Seb gets invited to the wedding, doesn't show up.
Oh,
And then-
yikes.
I was in college. I didn't have much money.
Understandable. It was across
Flights
the
were
world.
expensive.
And I just got back from Australia literally that year too.
That is true. Anyway, Jess and I are married. First year in LA. That as a married couple, we're hanging out. Whatever. VidCon. Bob shows up out of nowhere.
What's up?
And says,
But did you
"I
talk
like
to
your
us
videos."
first or Seb first?
No, I didn't know Seb. I knew you guys because I've watched your guys' stuff. So I just went up to you guys to be like, hey, like you guys' stuff. And then Seb was there. And then we all just like talked for a bit. And then we kept in touch. I started going to church with this guy. And then we all started hanging out and making videos.
Yeah.
That was really nice and concise.
Yeah.
Tried to history. But since then, the friendship evolved. We all got annual passes to Disneyland together
Oh,
over time.
multiple
we took
years.
All of that stuff. We just like would make content together, make videos together.
That was
Tons.
the first one
We'd
together.
go to Seb did start the trend of the annual passes. We'll give credit where credit's due. And then it just blossomed into this nice little group that we have, and we still our group chat is still named Incredicrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow
the-
we're out here in Nashville hanging out with you guys.
I know, crazy.
Somehow.
Yeah.
The Incredicrew is due to the ride at
Yeah.
Disneyland or California Adventure called the Incredicoaster.
Which is funny.
kinda
That
weird,
because-
'cause I
Bobby
don't-
will not go on.
Yeah, I know.
Bobby
He's
won't
never
go
been on
on roller coasters because he's a wimp.
Yeah. But so it's kind of weird that it is called Incredicrew, but it just sounds nice.
It flows. Yeah.
And it's like, it's just branded to Disneyland.
Yeah. It's just part of the brand now.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward
Oh,
to the drama.
Seb,
okay. What is it?
What do you think it
Man.
is? What do you think it is?
I think I have an idea.
What is it?
People think that Jess and I have like a secret relationship or something like that. And I'm just like, where does this
And
come
it's
from?
true.
Whoa!
I've never heard that. What do they say?
What, you haven't?
oh my
Just
gosh.
from your mouth, what do they say?
There will literally be comments. I remember one in particular that they were like, I think this person was commenting it on a bunch of other people's comments in a video. And they were like, their relationship's so inappropriate. Do you remember what?
Seb.
They
don't
were
know
just
what I
saying
did.
stuff because we're
They-
all best friends. Like, you guys will like act like brother and sister sometimes, and then people will be like, "Oh my gosh, they're way too close," and people will literally say like, "I feel so bad for Gabe because like obviously Seb and Jess like have a secret relationship that
And
no one knows about."
Also, this particular comment that I'm thinking of was like, they spend time alone together and she's even seen his butt.
Oh yeah, I was like, he's
That's very
he
specific.
was there when he saw it too.
Well, no,
What?
it was because remember when we were leaving LA and it was our last time hanging out?
Yeah.
And we were hanging out at the Grove and we all took pictures together and it was like on a burst. And then all of a sudden we were like just joshing around being funny and then Seb mooned the camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
So I
that
didn't-
period
I
of time.
deleted that.
If
Yeah.
we're being
You don't have that
technical,
on your
I
phone
didn't.
anymore?
No, I don't want that cursed image.
What did you say, Jess?
If we're being technical, I didn't see
She
his
didn't.
butt.
Yeah, she didn't.
You were just
That's
in the
true.
vicinity.
Because she
actually
was
true.
looking at the camera, and then I just
She was in the
mooned
same
camera.
space in which Seb's bare butt was exposed to
Yeah.
the atmosphere and air that she was breathing.
But
Same
also,
air.
I want to
Ooh,
give
same air.
clarity to viewers too, because they don't know like our conversations talking about the brother sister stuff. They don't know our conversations in the car. I remember once I was sitting in the car and I was
Only
like,
the conversations in the car.
well, yeah, because I think like this is where most of our we're having a conversation right now. But check this out: we were sitting in the car, and I tell Jess, I was like, Jess, I just want to let you know you're not my type.
Oh yeah, no, you've told me that plenty of times.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, Seb,
You
why
were
do you
there in
say
the
that?
car.
Like just to clarify.
Yeah, I forgot this factoid.
Yeah, but I I say that to her
He
too.
does say that because even if like I like a girl or something, he randomly is like, yeah, but she's not my type. And I'm like, she doesn't need to be your type, Seb. So if
Yeah.
he does say that, I can back him
But
up.
Yeah.
I say that for like because I think this conversation
give
has
confidence.
popped up before,
Yeah.
and then I just give it to give you confidence and to give her confidence. I'm
Thank
just
you,
like,
Seb.
not that you need it. I mean, confidence in our friendship to be like, I just
no, I
you're
get
just
it. It's
not
fine.
my type.
It's fine.
sis.
You don't need to keep like reinforcing it or anything.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. Anyways, hey, dude, I bet I'm not her type either, bro.
No.
Actually, to be fair, she's not a mustache gal, so
Dude,
it's true.
yeah.
Got a little scruff coming in.
I know,
My
but
type
it's
is
more.
just-
It's connected to the rest of the facial hair.
Yeah.
it's not.
I bet I know her type.
This guy,
Gabriel Conti,
exactly.
her husband. They are one. Dude, you're too close to that soundboard now.
Well,
Yeah.
I know you got to take it away from me. As soon as I start using it, it's bad. It's bad news.
So what do you think of this when you see this stuff, when you hear it?
I mean, it definitely bugs me a little bit, but most of the time, Gabe and I just laugh about it because it's so silly.
It's so funny. Like, imagine reading that comment. You're just like sitting on the couch.
It's pretty
you're
left
scrolling
field.
through- yeah, and then there's like, and she's seen his bare butt. Therefore, they must have a fling outside of their marriage relationship. You know,
But yeah, we have a close relationship, but only because of Gabriel.
I'm the glue that holds us all together.
But also, I think because of church, like we know our boundaries, we know we're not.
That's probably why it makes it so much more like
gonna say
laughable
because
to
of-
us.
Yeah.
Because like we know everyone's character in the room. We know everyone's like intention. We know how we all talk off camera.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
why it's funny.
have you guys heard of Vanderpump Rules? I think it's called.
Vanderpump Rules.
It's like a reality TV show in LA. Anyway, they recently had this like storyline. Basically, like a bunch of people are just like cheating on each other in the friend group.
What?
So it definitely happens, but it.
Yeah, but
we
it's
would,
like
never.
you kind of know
Like the
would know the vibe if it's like
Yeah.
that kind
the
of friend
character
group.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because I mean, I get very real, but for me, I would never sacrifice my friendship with you just for, some type of fling thing or whatever, That's
Yeah.
not my character and that's not what I would ever do. And also,
Yeah.
she's not my type.
Thanks, Seb.
Yeah, you might just keep reinforcing it throughout the whole podcast. I really need to be reassured.
I think this is a good segue though, because for our next segment, which is, do you want to explain?
What's our next segment? I actually have no idea.
So today we are going to ask you guys questions
Oh,
goodness.
yeah.
Okay, about
that
what?
girls are too afraid to ask. Coming and they,
Easy.
Oh, Bob's good at this.
they want to hear single Christian guy perspective.
Usually we do a Q&A at the end of the podcast.
Are we though?
So good or no good?
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just say it.
I was going to say, usually we do a Q&A at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
But today's bulk is going to be just full of juicy Qs.
This is good. And we'll just preface this again by saying this is just our opinion. Doesn't count
Totally.
for everybody.
No.
It's just our preference.
And
Everyone's
opinions
different.
change.
Opinions change, and everyone has a different taste, and that's good.
But I feel
So
like
embrace
people would love to hear from both of you.
Yeah.
And even
let's get
probably
it.
Gabe's opinion too.
My dad used to say, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink.
Let's go.
Well, there you go, guys. There you go.
Quote me on it.
Yeah, so keep that in mind.
Kidding. Quote my dad.
Keep that whole quote in mind
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
listen to every answer
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
give.
Okay, so this does kind of segue into this first question. And it is, can a guy really be just friends with his girl best friend?
There's a lot of people that say no. There's a lot that I've heard that say no. But I think 100% yes, because I have a lot of friends who are girls that are
Not your type.
just strictly like friends, and it's always been friends, and it's always like there's just never been any iffy situation about it, and we have each other's backs, and that's just what it is.
I think it's different. Like when you're single, I think that is the case. Once
Yeah.
you like get into a relationship and you're married, there does become a level of like inappropriateness when it comes to like me hanging out alone with another girl or just hanging out alone with another guy.
for sure.
So it's kind of like on a spectrum. But like when you're single,
It's
you
a
can kind of
free-for-all.
be like friends with whoever kind of without
Yeah.
it, you know?
And you also like you don't have to back up your intentions because if like they're your friend, you just know that you're friends with them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like prove that you're only friends or anything like that. So I think when you're single, I think it's possible. What do you think, Seb?
Seb, I want to hear your rebuttal.
Seb says no.
No, I'm in agreement. I think that if you're entering the relationship as friends, then yeah, there's no problem with that because that's your mentality from the start. It could
and
change.
if they're not your type too.
Yeah. But also, if you're going in with the intentions of dating because you find that person attractive and then it just doesn't turn out, and then you're like, oh, let's be best friends, I just don't think it can work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
a
that's
difference
really
of that.
tough.
So that's my thought. I agree with Bob.
But you're not like friends with, just friends with girls, but there's not still like a flirting, like confusion.
No, for me personally, I try not to be as, like, I will be as dead as a fish when it comes up to relationships with girls. It's just, for me personally, if I'm going to open myself up in a vulnerable sense or be myself, I need to be, I don't know.
I get what you're saying, Seb. Your friendships are like, you put yourself
And a boundary.
What?
A boundary.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying Seb naturally, if he's growing in friendship with someone, you become very vulnerable very quick and like open yourself up a lot. And sharing your heart like that with a girl could be taken really differently compared to like, you know what I mean? Like usually if guys are opening up, it's like because they're interested in a girl or whatever. So there's a thing there that you have to definitely be careful with, I think.
This is just me personally. This is how I act. I think the word best friend is very, very strong. So I'm friends with a lot of girls. I'm not best friends with them. I'm not, because Bob's my best friend. He knows everything inside and out. You guys know every little detail about me. But with like girls that are friends, I'm not going to share everything that's going on in my life. I'm not going to be as vulnerable with them. And I keep myself at a distance. And that's why sometimes conversations can feel a little bit awkward for me with some friends. I'm still always open, but I would say most of my friends who are girls don't actually really know me to the T compared to.
You're like best guy friends.
I'm going to ask for clarity. When we say best friend, do we mean like your single best friend who knows you more than anyone else?
I mean, they didn't clarify.
But I'm sure people are thinking that. Like, are we talking about like, oh, this is my group of best friends?
Yeah.
And there's guys in there, there's girls in there, but then your closest, or is it like my single best friend, the person I call for stuff when I'm like, hurt or when I whatever?
I think it's still possible.
I think that's slightly different. When I read that question, I kind of think like when I was in high school and there was a group of us best friends and there were guys and girls in the group.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the way we've been addressing it, but there might be a scenario where like maybe a guy doesn't even have guy friends and their best friend is actually a girl.
Yeah.
I feel like in that scenario, it'd be a little bit more like hard because you have so much into one person.
That's what I'm
versus
saying.
Like a bunch.
Yeah, I think, and I, like guys like naturally need other dudes in your life to just like, I don't know, accountability to push you, whatever, all those things where.
From my friend, because I have a lot of friends who are girls, and they said it's probably because I have like a sister and like I grew up with a sister. So like that something I'm just like comfortable.
That's true. What's your age gap?
2 years.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm 6 years older than my sister, so I didn't have like a sister best friend growing up kind of vibe.
I had a twin sister, but my sister never wanted to share her friends with me. But that was because she was afraid. I'm kind of throwing her under the bus here, but
she's great.
We love her.
She was afraid that my ego. So I went to an all guys school too. So that's like a whole different ball game there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even talk to girls for 4 years of my life. And then when college came, I found out that I was not a nice guy. And also my sister,
sick.
And also my sister, she was afraid that my ego would grow if she told me like her friends that liked me. So she would just never tell me.
Wow.
And so that's why I tend not to open up to girls.
That's deep.
I think this one's really interesting because, okay, how do you feel about fangirls?
Whoa, Bob, you go.
Like you're talking to her?
Wait.
Yeah.
And then she ends up being a fangirl?
Like a fan of us?
No.
Like a fan of Bob's or a
like,
girl who's a huge fan of someone else?
Yeah, like someone who's just a fangirl of like.
So you?
Yeah.
I think it's okay because I think that just anything like fangirl, whether you're a girl or a guy, when you fangirl over something, it just means you're excited about it. Like you just like it. It gets you excited. You have like something in you relate to, or like you just have like a passion for, or like it's just good to you. So it's just exciting.
I think it depends though.
Like if the girl that you had a crush on was like obsessed with this guy celebrity, you wouldn't mind.
Like in a jealous way, no.
And
but
like he was her
like
background on her phone and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's unhealthy.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. Like so Jess and I scenario, it's like I found out she was a fangirl, but then she like
I saw you trash the Notebook.
It was a good time. As the Notebook is all of her
Justin Bieber
her old scrapbooking Justin Bieber facts book. As she became interested in me, she lost interest in her fangirlness.
Yeah.
Showing that, like, I don't know.
But you're still probably like a fan of people, but it's just not
Totally.
to that extent of.
It's
but
definitely just like
obsession.
hidden inside of me. It has never gone away. It's just hidden.
What the f?
Like you're saying, it's still there as far as just like the excitement of like, oh, I really like that artist. I like
Yeah.
their songs. It makes me happy. But like I want to be with him goes away.
Yeah, I'm not like in love with Harry Styles anymore.
Yeah.
I just like still love him as a like artist.
So
That makes sense.
I think like I mentioned, it was unhealthy if like you're dating them or like, and then they're like the person they're obsessed with is still on their phone. That's where I'm like, that's
Yeah.
that's pretty unhealthy.
Yeah. It's I agree with that. Like
Yeah.
if it's to a weird extent where it's like you're going over and all of a sudden your girlfriend has like posters of another dude plastered all over her room that she's like looking at when she's falling asleep at night, and her background is that guy and everything. Like
I feel like it
that's
is
just
like
like a
a
little
phased
creepy.
out type
So,
thing.
Yeah. It's
after
like
a while.
I think it's like even if you start the relationship at that point,
Yeah.
a
think
healthy
it'll
version is
naturally-
like it should phase out to where like interest.
And that's on her
definitely see you.
too. That's not on like you saying it. It'd be probably like she probably naturally. I feel like in most scenarios would probably naturally just kind of fade out.
I think that's just a teenage phase, you know, because I've recently gotten into the 1975, and for some reason now, like like videos will pop up on my feed where it's like 25 minutes of Maddie Healy being Maddie Healy, and I'm just like, what the heck is this? And then I'll click it and I'll watch it. I was like, oh, this is entertaining. Like I get it, but I would never get obsessed over it. You know,
Gotcha.
like watch that over and over and over and over again. You know.
Just a one-time watch.
Yeah, one time watch, and you're like, that was a good piece of content. Back to my life and worshiping the Lord.
Nice.
There we
Next
go. Keep
question.
it grounded, baby.
All right. Do you guys also make code names for your crushes?
No.
Like
You've never?
between friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like, oh,
Yes.
goldfish is coming.
No.
Who was Goldfish, Jess?
No, I just made
No,
that up.
I want to know.
I promise you, I just made that up. No, but I had code names for sure.
Let's
What
name
were-
a couple
what
of
were-
codenames.
Yeah. What were the code names for your crushes?
Oh, I can't remember.
What do you mean? You can't
So
remember?
which crush? 17 or 37?
What?
She had so many crushes back in the day.
You throw me under the bus.
Yeah.
I do, just because there's sometimes where it's like, if it's like a crush and it's not like you're talking to them or something, it's just like you don't want to say their name because they're like, who's that? So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, you know,
Do you remember
This
a
person.
code name that you've had?
yeah, probably.
I
Go,
think
go, go.
what
I wanna
you-
hear what-
I think you've mentioned codenames to me, and your codenames are adjectives that describe the physical appearance of that girl. So it'll be like redhead girl coming your way.
Yeah. So he could be like, oh, I remember talking about, or like, I remember you showing me a picture of redhead girl. So it's like stuff like that.
So what is
Or like
what-
green jacket girl.
yeah, it's nothing like crazy about them.
Yeah.
Like anything weird, but it's just like something that I know memorable. They'd be like, oh, instead of like, oh, Tina, he'd be like, wait, who's
Yeah,
Tina?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Girls always, well, in my experience, we always had code names.
What were your code names?
Yeah,
again?
well, based
I'm
off
trying to
of
think.
like conversations or like
Yeah,
physical
like a story
appearance.
about them, or like
Oh, it's
one
always
was
a bad
Nightmare.
What? I even got to chill with that.
I knew it was going to be a
Did you
bad
see
one.
that? I literally chilled when she said nightmare.
was that a code name that you had?
That was one code name.
Nightmare.
See, mine don't go that
Oh
direction.
No.
my gosh!
whoa.
Sorry, I kind of like phased out for a second because I have an eyelash in my eye, so I'm kind of freaking out.
Jess,
She's
what
like,
the
"Guys,"
And then
heck?
you guys were like, "Whoa!" whoa," and I was like, "What?"
She's like nightmare, Pete Pants boy.
Like Ocean. I don't know.
Ocean
we
Boy?
had so many.
Who's Ocean? Like some guy with like really beautiful blue eyes.
Dang, you had a
No.
lot of code names.
They
He's
weren't
just-
always for crushes though. Sometimes it was just like,
Randoms.
yeah, just a guy.
So would you
He's lost in the
look at
ocean
someone
once.
and
Yeah.
say ugly boy coming?
What code name would he have?
Mustache.
Mustache boy.
like Mickey Mouse probably?
Whoa.
Oh, that's good.
It was always like something
Because you're
about.
obsessed with
Mickey
Disney.
Mouse, bro. I'm not obsessed with Disney. Do you see any Disney tattoos? I'm no Disney adult.
You're gonna
Not
get
that there's
one.
anything
still-
bad with being a Disney adult.
You have an annual pass right now.
Bro,
I do, and I
ask you,
barely
you still
go.
have- Bro, you would go if we still lived in LA. You would be there every weekend.
If I went with you guys, not by myself.
All right, that's fair.
When was the last time you went?
Last time I went probably was like 2 months ago.
Dang, you're not really putting that to use. You should cancel.
Yeah. Well, I can't. Stuck in a contract.
When does it end?
August. So it's almost there.
You're gonna renew. You're gonna renew.
I'll probably renew. I got nothing else to do. I'm single, bro. I go to Disney and I work at Disney.
Oh,
That's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, wait, in the park or just in
Yeah, I'll
downtown
bring my
Disney?
laptop. and
Just
I'll
insulting Disney adults.
I know, but I am a Disney adult, I guess. But
100%.
there's levels to it. I'm not going to Disney wearing a Disney t-shirt along with a Disney tattoo. Nothing wrong with it again.
We usually have Disney stuff when we go.
I don't. I barely do.
No,
I
no,
do.
he's saying when he goes by himself.
Oh.
He's not
Yeah.
like wearing
That
the
would be-
Mickey Mouse ears, walking in
Yeah.
by himself with his laptop.
Like, here we go.
I'll bring my laptop. I'll sit at a eating area and I'll do my work from there.
That's so nice.
That is pretty
'cause
sick.
It probably has like the Disney music in the background.
Yeah.
And it's like in the middle of the week, so it'll be like kind of empty, and it's just like a vibe.
Well, it's because I read a lot of Bob Goff books in the beginning. And so Bob Goff would always just go to, which he's an author that is a Christian author that goes to Disney all the time. And so I just wanted to do
That's
that
so
too.
cool.
That's cool.
Seb Goff.
Yeah, Sab Goff.
Nice.
Guys,
Yeah.
first date, red flags and green flags.
Ooh.
Like, what do you think you're on a date with a girl, you leave. What's like a takeaway that you're like, ooh, that was like a green flag. That was
Honestly,
really good.
I have one.
I have one too.
Red flag. It's very specific, I guess. But there was one time a while back where her code name was Loud Girl. It's because she just talked so loud. Like
Yeah.
she just, those projectors, like they just project.
Yeah, I have one
Yeah.
sent to my left.
Hey,
kidding, I'm
I own
kidding.
up to it.
But like,
Gabe,
that's-
you're a projector.
I've been peeking
Yeah, yeah.
this whole time. in the
there's
podcast.
different.
Now when I have a mic
I
in
just-
front of me, then I can talk really, really quietly.
I
and you
feel
guys
like
still hear me.
maybe I just have sensitive ears or something, but like I've been in a situation where they're really loud, and not in like a yelly way, but just like projecty way. And like, I just remember driving and they were talking, and since it was like enclosed, it was just rattling my brain, and I was like gonna throw up because I'm like,
my
dude,
gosh.
it's so loud.
So the red flag is talking too
just
loud.
normal.
Yeah, yeah.
But everyone's different. That's fine.
But that's not like a
And
relationship.
Someone will love
red-
that.
That's more of like a just
Very specific.
That's like a very specific, not really like relationship
Yeah,
red flag. That's more of like a
What would it be a
vibe
red-
with a person's personality
Yeah,
red
yeah.
flag.
I have a green flag.
What?
Well, my therapist and I, we talk a lot. We meet every week. I actually have my first therapy session. I have another one after this. But one of the things I talked about with her was I was going to go on a date, and she said, Seb, if the center of your conversation is Jesus, then that's a green flag right there.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so for me, my focus when I walked into that date was, hey, are we talking about Jesus? How has he impacted your life? And is he are you about it? Because for me, my faith is about it. So I would say like green flag should be things that your life is focused on.
Yeah.
Green flags that you could share and have some type of relatability, because we talk about this. I talk about this with Bob a lot, the idea of being equally yoked. And I genuinely believe that there is strength in being equally yoked. For example,
If you don't know what that means, it's the example. It's like a biblical example, but basically it would be a yoke would be a big like wooden thing that would go around the necks of two cows as they would plow a field, and it would keep them next to each other, because if one moved forward or went farther back than the other one and they would get out of line, it would literally break one of their necks and be very damaging situation. So they would have to be completely next to each other, completely aligned as they did their job. So that's what equally yoked means.
yeah,
When it comes to like relationships.
100%. And that's why even last week, I even told Bob, we were talking about it earlier today. I was in the car with Bob and I was telling him I didn't feel like a Christian for some reason. Well, it's a whole deeper conversation, but I was telling him I wasn't feeling like a Christian in this season. And we were talking about this Bible scripture together. And then eventually he came out with something which actually I have it in my notes, but he said, instead of learning about Jesus, talk to Jesus. And that piece of advice for me helped me when Bob was at a different state in his life with his relationship with Jesus, that the weight that I was carrying in my life was a lot lighter now. And so when you're going into a relationship, you should have someone that understands or is at least under the same yoke. So when one of you are tired, you can encourage the other. And when the other one's encouraged and the other one's tired, you can lift them up. And so seeing that come to life in my relationship with Bobby at that moment made me realize how important that is for someone that you're dating. So that's it. That's
So
all I got.
good.
you just used your and Bobby's friendship
As an example.
as an example of what to do
Of
on
a
the first
green
date.
flag.
Oh yeah, probably.
I love it.
And just to reiterate, it is a friendship.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I'd say in general, the red flags and green flags, green would be a lot of relatability. Make sure you're talking about the same stuff. Ask them the questions about the stuff that you're interested in. Ask
they
what they're interested
understand
in. All that stuff. I'd say the red flags is if they're doing stuff that you're not interested in at all, or if their world revolves around something that you don't like to do or like to think about or this or that.
Yeah, I'd say if there's, I don't know, it depends on personality and stuff like that, but having conversation, like the first time Jess and I went on a date, I was like asking her opinion, not like in the context of us in a relationship at all, but I was just asking her on her opinions on marriage. Just be
And
like,
relationships in general.
just relationships in general.
Just
Not
see
for
where
like us.
her head's at.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, is it worth my time? Like, she's here for 3 weeks. Do I want to spend the next 3 weeks? This was when she was visiting into LA. I was like, do I actually want to spend the next 3 weeks spending a ton of time with this girl? Or do I want to, or do I want to just like kind of cut it short because we're not on the same page? So, I guess like, I would say like green flags and red flags is like know what you want in the person, whoever it is, like future partner or whatever. And then when you go on a first date, have intentional conversation to see how you align on those things, like views on marriage. Are they excited to be a parent one day? And you don't have to do it in the context of you guys in a relationship. You just do it in the context of in general. And then if they're like weird about those questions, that probably means that they're not the person that you want to be.
Yeah, they're not at that
your emotional
stage.
time into.
Not the same steps.
I think you also like want to have fun with them too. Like even when I'm meeting like a new friend for the first time, like I can tell if we vibe, like sense of humor wise.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that's a big one. Actually.
Those like intentional conversations are really important too, but so is like making sure you have like the same sense of humor.
Legit, like say an office joke or something, and if they go, "Oh my gosh," you know,
I love The Office.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like an in.
Yeah.
Kind of
well,
thing.
I think a lot of the times too, if like hanging out for the first time, rather than like going to get coffee where it's kind of more serious type of thing, like if you go and do some sort of activity where you
Like
can
mini
make
golf.
jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you do mini golf, bowling, then there's like natural opportunities to just joke around and have fun. And then you can kind of see if you guys like banter.
And
good
then you go to coffee afterwards to reminisce on all the good times you just had
Yeah.
at mini golf.
and realize they don't like any of the stuff you like. And you just had fun.
And they
for no reason.
And they actually hated mini golf, but they pretended to like it because they wanted to appease you.
I think even for yourself, a red flag that you should notice for yourself, for me personally, what I've realized is I have a hard time being myself. I have a hard time liking myself. So with that being said, a lot of the times if I jump into a dating situation or if I'm potentially interested in someone, I've caught myself trying to be someone else rather than being myself. And so one of the things that you have to make sure once you enter these moments or these situations, make sure that you're not playing someone else. That's why I think there's importance in saying those offhand jokes at time, because if that offhand joke is part of who you are and your character, or like something that makes who you are, I'm not saying say something inappropriate or anything stupid.
In a what?
Inappropriate, but you get what I'm saying.
Inappropriate?
Inappropriate. What did I say? Appropriate? Did I say inappropriate?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
embarrassing.
inappropriate.
You said inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
You said inappropriate.
Oh, anyways, so you don't want to be saying anything inappropriate. I'm not saying. Am I saying it again?
That's the wrong way. You have to-
Inappropriate.
No, there's an R.
Inappropriate.
Appropriate.
Inappropriate. Dang, bro, that was going somewhere and I just skydived,
Oh my
bro.
gosh.
But anyways, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Say those. Yeah, catch yourself.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
That was really
no, that's
inappropriate
good.
of me.
But you get what I'm saying. Just catch yourself not trying to be someone else just so that you can please this person. If you're not being yourself, then there's no point in jumping in that situation because you're just
Totally.
being a fool. So
Yeah.
stop yourself from being a red flag, I guess.
What is a polite way to say no without hurting a guy's feelings? So I guess this is saying, how would you like to be rejected? Like, how would a polite way to be let down?
Clarity. Just tell me. Don't have me waiting around. Don't tell me.
This line works every time. It's not you. It's me.
Absolutely
well,
not.
is this? Do you think that's in the context of like you're talking for a bit and then they're not interested, or like you go up to them?
Let's go
And
through.
they're not
Let's go through
interested.
different
It could be
scenarios,
both.
like first date, and then you don't want to go on another date, but he asks you on another date, kind of thing. How would you want to be rejected if you asked a girl on another date?
I mean, yeah, clarity would be the best of just like, oh, you know, well, wasn't feeling it. That's kind of mean.
I
but-
think that would be so awkward if you're like dropping her home and she's just like, we probably shouldn't do this.
yeah, that would be.
That's tough.
Well,
That's
yeah.
tough.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's a place and time. You don't just go up to someone after a date. Like if you just shot an amazing video and you work super hard, like for example, this podcast, if I'm having a bad time at this podcast, which I'm not, but if I'm having a bad
Weird
time
example,
at this,
Seb.
but if I'm having a bad time at this podcast, right? And then we finish and then all of a sudden, you know, like, oh, Seb, what'd you think of the podcast? And I'm like, it sucked. I didn't really have a good time. That's a bad time to tell you the truth. But if you're like, hey,
I have the answer. I have the answer now.
which is
I really enjoyed spending time with you today. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can see myself being in a relationship.
I would even say
No one would ever say that, though.
I would even say give it some time.
Yeah.
Give it
Why
a-
would no one ever say
Give it a day. Let the emotions go down and then give it a day. Text them. Say, hey, I had a really good time. They're not on this crazy high. And then you just break it down to them.
Yeah.
I'd say in actuality, what most people do is just kind of like,
Bobby's been
Oh,
on a lot of dates.
oh,
by the
like,
way.
Yeah.
He's
oh,
got a
I'm
lot
busy.
of experience.
Like, oh, I'm busy next week. And then you
Yeah.
just kind of get the hint. And then you like try again next week. And then they're like, oh, I'm doing this and that. And then you're like, okay, like I understand type thing.
So, but it's not.
But it's very indirect.
But it's not. They're asking from the position of how to turn someone down.
That's what I'm saying. For the
Just
girls,
be indirect.
that's not the best way, but that is the most
Bro.
common way that is just like,
You're dating in LA though. It's like a different vibe over there.
I think that's like the most like easy. Cause like, let's say you go on one date, you don't owe each other anything. Like you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
sign anything up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're just like,
Except getting their Netflix login.
but if you're just like, oh, like I'm busy, then you kind of get the hint.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
what I'm saying. And so, yeah, if you've like been going out for like a month and then you say I'm busy, that's kind of rude. Yeah, be more direct. You guys know each other more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Use more time on each other.
If the girl genuinely does not want to be pursued by this man, don't even give him an option of if. Like, oh, there might be a chance. It's like, it's not happening. Give that type of clarity.
Okay, but as a woman,
I'm getting mixed signals here.
would you would you go the direct route? Because I feel like that's pretty intense.
Yeah,
It's
we're also
talking.
personality
Jess,
type
You
too,
should
I
answer
feel
this
like.
question.
So what I think about this is like, you just don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste his time. And I feel like that's just an honest thing to say and be like, I'm honestly just not sure. And I don't want to waste your time or waste my time. I don't want to like hurt your, you know. I
That's
don't know.
actually a good one to
that
say. Like,
stings a little bit, but it is like you get the information
Yeah.
quick.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
you can also say like,
It would
I
sting.
don't.
A little bit of like let's say like I really like someone and then they say like, oh, I'm not really sure, so I don't want to waste your time. Okay, that's nice. If they're like, I don't want to waste my time, then I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
stings a
No,
little bit,
it would-
but of course.
You can also say like, I want to protect our like hearts and our emotional
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
If I'm like not sure enough to invest enough emotionally, that can lead to us both getting hurt.
What I mean by that is like, if you're just not ending it,
Yeah.
then you're like stopping both of you from finding the right person. So it is kind of like it's wasting both people's
Yeah,
time.
it's unhealthy
For sure.
because for the dude could just be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping that there's an answer, and then the sting later on hurts a lot more than in the beginning.
And I will say, if that's the case, no means no. Take the no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Take the no. You know,
Yeah.
respect the no, whether it's from the girl, from the guy,
Just take the L.
either
dude.
way.
Take the L.
No means no. Respect the no.
Yeah.
We're going to end on a good one. What is the most attractive thing in a girl? Like maybe list a couple things that you find like really attractive that you were looking for in a girl.
Honesty.
I was waiting for him to go, boobs. No.
Oh, bro. Honesty, kindness. Those are like the main two. Because I feel like if you're honest and you're kind, a lot come from that. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of people that you can run into, guys or girls, that just aren't kind. And from being not kind, just stem a lot of like other negative
Deeper
things.
issues that have led to the, that makes sense.
Yes. Because honesty too, like if you're actually honest, that means you're honest with yourself too. So that means like you're not going to go lie about stuff or this or that or change truths or move things around, or it's just, if you're honest, you're honest. If you're kind, you're kind. I think those are big attributes.
Bob has spoke his mind.
That's it.
Bro, those bars.
Seb?
Hear that?
In a general sense, so I'll give one that's mine personally, and then two that are in a general sense.
Okay.
Mine personally, most attractive, passion for Jesus. Jesus
Yeah, yeah.
overall. But the two would be,
But there's like a lot of people who would be like, oh, we connect on the most important thing, which is like our passion for Jesus, except I'm not attracted to you. And like even physically,
yeah.
our personalities don't really vibe. I don't necessarily want you to be the mother of my kid. Like there's a lot of things that, though that is in common.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your more general.
So my general,
Now, I'm not saying that that's not
no,
important. That is the most important
totally,
thing.
Totally understand.
But there's like a lot of layers to like
to that, for
being
sure.
with one person for the rest of your life. You know?
Absolutely. But actually connected to, actually it's passion. What are you passionate about? If you don't have any passions, like where are you heading to? How can what I'm doing help your passion and lead you to where you're going? A woman that has an idea of what she wants is really attractive. Clarity on what she wants. Second thing, which I just found out this past like month, was actually seeing like I saw a girl with a baby and I was like, whoa. I was like nurturing. I really like the idea of a woman.
So if they have a baby already,
yeah. Well, no. Hold on.
So-
we're starting up the rumors.
Are you saying my wife that you saw her this month with a baby?
No.
No, I know what you're saying.
But like someone who, because for me, I love my family above all. Like I go to Chile every year. I hang out with my cousins, and all my little cousins are around 2 to 10 years old. And someone who can be childlike and have a kid run up to them. And, you know, when I hear a girl say like, oh, I don't really like kids, I'm just like, oh, then we can't be together.
Yeah. See, I mean, but even that, like,
Yeah.
there's like deal breakers outside of like, there's the most important thing, which is like, you're both passionate and about your love for Christ and him being, you know, your Lord. But then there's those kinds of things where it's literally like, though we are both Christian, we're not going to be equally yoked, like we were saying before, in our relationship. Like you don't want kids, I want kids. Even like where you live, that can be a huge thing. Like even for Jess and I, trying to figure that out for the past 6 years, and then finally ending up in a place where we're like, oh, we want to actually, this is where we want to raise our family.
Yeah.
Here in Nashville. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of things that you have to basically figure out things you have to figure out that you are fully aligned on that are like really important things, you know?
Yeah.
I would say a big unattractive quality that I've just realized
Oh, let's go.
is just laziness.
Yeah.
Just laziness. And then it goes
Yeah.
for like a girl or a guy, I'm sure, where it's just like, if you're just lazy, you're like, you don't want to like, just not even take care of yourself in the sense of like,
Brush
oh,
your
you
teeth.
have to work out, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Not like that, but just in a sense of like, you know, care about yourself to an extent of like, take care of what you got to take care of. Don't be lazy.
So I need to ask you, why is this something that you've just figured out recently?
I think I just
What's the
like
scenario?
No, I think I just like pinpointed it. Like I appreciate what's like the opposite of lazy, when you're like not a hard worker, but
Driven.
like I appreciate when you're like driven and like you're trying to do something, like you're passionate about something, and, like, you're-
motivated to
motivated to like do something, whether that be whatever your interest is. I think that's attractive, but I think laziness is just a whole different thing.
You know, that takes me to my next point. It's really healthy in a relationship to have something that you're like building beforehand, whether through your passions or your interests or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
That then you can bring
Together.
your partner into to where then you can start sharing worlds essentially versus that person coming in and you putting a crazy responsibility on their back of them being your entirely everything.
Yeah.
And all of your motivation and passion and interest and everything is just contingent on this one person.
Yeah.
Like your happiness is fully contingent on this one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would even piggyback on that because I'm guessing a majority of your viewers and listeners are females. Find yourself a man that's already on a mission. Like don't let the man make you the mission. Have the man have his own mission, and that you can somewhat complement or help support that in some way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, but in both ways.
Yeah, in both ways, for sure. Absolutely.
Guys, this was a great chat.
This was a good chat.
You think
Is
so?
there? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
thank
great.
God.
So my performance, what was it? 1 out of 10.
I'm telling you, I'm learning to love myself. All right, let's get to it. Too deep. You gotta be honest, bro. All right, let's go. So thanks for watching so far.
Guys, we still don't have an outro, so you know what that means? I don't even know. If you've gotten this
plug
far and you
ourselves?
enjoy this episode, you can rate it on your platform of choice. Leave us a review. We love a good 5-star.
It would really
And-
mean a lot and,
Yeah, it would
and
really
help
mean
out a lot.
If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe and stuff like that. So anyway,
Guys,
appreciate it,
thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for being
Hey.
on, boys.
If
Thank
you've
you.
reached this part of the podcast, in the comment section below, right? Seb and Bobby are so far so good. That's too long.
No, that's perfect.
There we go. Say that.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.
See you.